asking myself the question, why is no one trying in school anymore? I know a lot of things have changed in our decade, and it feels like as if, oh, there's not AI, social media, and a whole lot of things that were not there when our parents were going to school. And maybe those kind of things might have changed the perspective of how people see school and all that. But today I'm going to be talking about all those issues from the perspective, of a study YouTuber, what has actually happened, the challenges that people are actually facing right now, and makes people feel like school is not worth it, and why you should actually believe, in school, even though like, it feels like as if these days, what's the point in actually going to school? So if you're going to give me 10 minutes of your time, I might actually change the youth education and what you actually feel is important and why you should actually give your academics more time. So if you know there's somebody in your course that's really telling you that school is a scam, school is not worth it, send this video to them or anybody that questions why we should even be in school in the first place. Because I might just have the answer to your questions today. So anyways, let's get into it. Let's start from the fact that these days people feel like jobs are not guaranteed by going to school. Well, that is partially true, but it's also partially not true. The way education has been seen these days has actually pivoted a whole lot. Recently, I actually made a presentation to someone about this exact fact, and I have to talk about the fact that education has changed over time. I remember the time in time of our grandparents when the missionaries came and nearly started planting, universities and all that. To even find a university graduate was not very, very, you know, popular, if that's the word to say. So you could hardly find people that were educated enough, and those people that were educated, they're working in spaces like banks and all those kind of things. So moving on to the time, of our parents and everything, you know, that's when you started to see people, not really just taking only bachelor's degree, but the use of master's degrees and PhD started becoming more empathic. But moving on to our time now, of education, the whole ball game has completely changed. Not only do we also have to satisfy the qualifications of our parents in terms of having, masters, because masters is now basically the bare minimum, for things, but you should also have to be able to show them your real life skills and what you can actually do. And I know that you might not really be like, what does this one know? She has not graduated, but I'm going to make a whole lot of TikToks, in the description, where a lot of people that have graduated are also saying the exact same thing. Well, because everybody these days has the degrees, but what differentiates you, the experiences that you have, the ITs that you did, the softwares that you can operate, the skills that you actually have, the public speaking, the softwares, SAP, AutoCAD, all those things that you can use, those are the things, that actually differentiate you in the market today. So it's not that school is not useful. Like, I love this video that this girl made. This girl, she has also graduated from university. She said that education that you're going to get, it's going to open the door for you. Yes. But what is actually going to keep the door open is actually those experiences and those skills you have. And the truth is, if I truly believed that only education could actually satisfy the soul, I wouldn't even be a study YouTuber today. Like now, when I graduated from university, I don't know, I had degrees, I had everything, but it's like I didn't feel like I really, really had a life per se. I couldn't really say, okay, these were the other things I did, these were the friends I had made, these are the impacts, that I had done. And so that's why when I came to university, like I said in this video that I made last week, that I did not just want to graduate from school with just degrees, but I also wanted to create experience. And in the process of creating those experiences have actually been things that I've been able to enjoy, but also things that I can also put on my CV as well, to show that I'm the kind of person that if I to put in your company, I will contribute to society. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not just about, you know, just getting those good grades, because getting good grades is also very important, because I've said it many times on this channel. Getting good grades is not really just about the grades, but it's about what those grades do to you. It shows your work ethic, it shows your ability to be dedicated to things, it shows, your ability to take responsibility. That's what your grades show, not just the knowledge that you have. And so I always invite people to do well and do great things with their academic life, not just because of the grades that they will get, but because it's a show of your ability to take responsibility for your life. So moving on to the next point, and it's the point that people are always pointing out. But I'm going to discuss this theory. Lots of people say this one, but me personally, I'm going to debunk this theory for you today. And it's the fact that they say that we learn on practical things in school. So there was a time of my life I used to read a lot of Robert Kiyosaki books, and if you know, he's a what's the word? He's a top student at like I don't know, is it top student race? I don't know how to put it. But then, um, it just feels like I said a lot of things we learn in school that are not very, very useful. Well, maybe there might be the things in school that that we don't really use in the active world. But personally, for me, as a mechanical engineering student, a lot of the things I have learned in the classroom are very, very beneficial to me. Permit me to geek out for a few seconds, but like now in school, I learned a lot about valves, accumulators, all those kind of things. These were very, very important information that I actually used during my IT in the sector that I worked in. So some of the things that I have actually been taught in school are actually very, very useful. And understanding the technical aspects of those things are actually very, very important. Like now, but you can't tell me that it's everything that you're learning in school that is impractical. Like now, I saw a TikTok comment now. This girl, she studied was like political science, and then she went on to master French and all those kind of things. And now she'll be using her degree along with her skill of speaking French, which is something I talked about in the first point, to actually guarantee jobs for herself. Like now in my 100 level, they made us to all do a course on French. These are actually practical skills, languages that you can actually use, in the real world to do real things. So if you're learning impractical things, there's a possibility that you might just be studying an impractical course. And so you cannot blame the society for that. Like now, let's say people that are studying, I don't want to call specific courses, so, people might have hard feelings about it. But you know the course you're studying, sharp. And you know that. So there are the practical things about school that you can actually learn, and most times maybe those impractical things that you're learning, that we're learning, they will actually maybe not just per se be used, but to actually develop your mind, to actually understand the greater things that you actually do later on that are actually practical. But this video is getting so long, but let me just try and finish as much as I can. So the next point that I always kept hearing is there's no money in academics. Yeah? Yeah? Who told you that? They are lying to you. There's money in academia. There's money. There's anybody that can tell you. Me, I will tell you. There's money in academia. Because knowledge is the currency of the universe. You see yourself paying for courses, paying for experiences, paying for all these kind of things, paying for the education you're getting now. What are you paying for? You're paying for knowledge. So apart from the fact that your knowledge can be converted into things that you can pay for, the companies are hiring people. They are hiring people for the things that they can only do, but they're also hiring people for the things that they know. And you harnessing or holding some types of certificates and degrees, it shows some of the kind of things that that are actually going to be beneficial to their companies. So all in all, it really does depend on what you're studying and what industry you're planning to work in. So there's actually money. It just depends on the kind of industry and opportunities that you're setting out to look for. I was usually listening to a podcast and they are talking about the fact that a lot of white collar jobs are going to be out of the market very, very soon. And what's going to be around for a longer period is going to be the blue collar jobs. Those are like diplomas, the mechanics, those kind of things that are actually like practical, and all that. But to be truthful, I think they are right. Blue collar jobs is going to be taking a very, very long time before AI can what's it called? Can take over blue collar jobs. But there are some specific white collar jobs that they will still definitely need human help. So all in all, apart from gaining your technical skills, which are like the white collar jobs that they claim will soon be replaced, you can also have other jobs apart from the ones that you're doing in school as well. Like now, I have the skill of, I understand videography, video editing, thumbnail design, all of other things apart from the school the things I'm studying in school. And these were actually things that opened a lot of opportunities for me, while during my IT, it gave me the opportunity to do some things and talk to some specific kind of people during my internship. So not just gaining technical skills that you can actually use in the industry, but also gaining skills outside of that will also be very, very essential in case what is actually said to be happening currently with the white collar jobs is actually going to happen. And this point is my favorite point. Like, please stay to the ending, because the point 4 is actually going to really change your mind about how you do academia and everything. So point 4, and that's the fact that people see that there's no point in doing it. And I will tell you, there is a point in doing it, and the point of excellence. I love this quote that Aristotle said, and he said that excellence is not an act, excellence is a habit. So there might be the point in your life where you don't feel like maybe this thing might be worth doing and all that. But I was once listening to a pastor in my secondary school, Pastor Ishaya, and he said that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So you need to constantly learn to incorporate the habits of excellence. Okay, yes, you might not be using your degree. Okay, yes, you might not be doing anything with it, but there are spaces that you might not be able to walk in and speaking confidently if you cannot dedicate, some level of strength and energy to this your academics, to be very, very honest with you. So it's not just about okay, what's the point in it, but it's a part of maintaining the art of actually being excellent at things, putting in the work in the things that you actually do, showing up consistently well in all the different aspects of your life. So no, you might not be using it, but it's still very important to still put in the work, because it's not just about doing the thing, but actually showing that you put in the work ethic and all those kind of things. I love this guy on YouTube. His name is John Yo. He's currently a very, very famous and rich entrepreneur. And he was talking about something that, like, there's a lot of things happening in society now where people are telling people to drop out of school, to go and start businesses and all that. And he was like, see, if you cannot dedicate some time to study your degree, like he's studying biomedical engineering, something like that, how much more do you think you're going to be able to dedicate, to doing your entrepreneurship and all those kind of things? Because if you cannot pass a common exam, you cannot do the work to pass a common exam, what makes you think that you're going to be very, very dedicated at doing your business and all those things? I'm going to already put a clip of his video where he explains this concept much, much better. But, like, my point is, you need to be able to actually put in the work with your academics, because it's not just about whether it's what is or whether it's not, but it's continuing the track record of you being somebody that puts in the work and does the work, whether it's required or whether it's not required of you. And that is something that is instilled in you. That's something that academics changes about you. Because one thing I love about academia, it's not just the things that you learn from academia, but it's the things but it's the things that academia does to you. Those things are very, very important. And so if you've not been trying your academics, I would like to employ you to just do it, not because maybe you might not use the degree or you might use the degree in the end, but it's just simply the art of mastering, the art of discipline, the art of excellence, the art of doing things and showing up consistently for things, no matter what the outcome may be. And that art, that habit, that culture, that character will take you anywhere, even outside academia. And so, yeah, I think that's about it for today. So let's all go and fight in the comment section about what you think is important about school and what you think is not important about school. I think it's a very, very important topic that we should all be having as students, and I'm always up for this kind of discussions. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the comments. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you watched up to this point, comments, education is key. So yeah, if you watched up to this point, comment education is key, and that would really, really touch my heart, because I know that at least I'm not just talking to myself up to this point. Anyways, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in another video.